Whistler's Motive by Mild Mojo. This appears to be a text adventure of some sort. The apartment. You've got the jitters. Your answer mod's on the fritz, so you're actually at home for a change. This time of the night, you're usually out looking for trouble past curfew. The phone is ringing. I suppose I'll answer it. You pick up the receiver. Right, people don't just have cell phones, they're only at home. I was alive in the 80s, not the 70s, but still, cell phones are pretty pervasive these days. You pick up the receiver. There's a pause. Then several familiar clicks. A recorded voice begins. The time is 8:19 p.m. Please enter your city code after the tone. A tone sounds. Enter your citizen code. Or I suppose I do. You enter your 9-digit citizen code in touch tones. Please enter your... The system pauses, selecting one of the number of personal questions. Best friend's name. You definitely enter the answer on the keypad. Thank you. We value your patience during this time of heightened security. Bullshit, you think. It's just a reactionary power grab. You hang up the phone, grab your gear, and leave the apartment. You won't be around to make the second call tonight. To take the second call tonight. Take the second call? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm receiving phone calls to make sure I'm home, maybe? Because I used to be, I'm normally out causing trouble or something. I don't remember. Pine Street. You're standing on a sleepy street in Portland. A pair of headlights are coming around the bend half-kilometer away. Curfew means they're not friendly. Yeah. I'm just gonna head to the parking lot. You stick to the shadows as you make your way to the gravel lot behind the apartment. Your bike's wedged between two sedans. Okay, it's a motorbike, not a bicycle. I actually bicycle a lot, so I'm thinking, am I going to be outrunning people in a car and a bicycle? Because that would suck. But I have a motorbike. Yes. Wait, connect my handset? That seems like it could be something important. Let's connect my handset. You remove your lineman's handset? Lineman? My lineman's handset from your backpack and thread the cable into the jack on the side of the speedometer. You switch the handset on and the whistle open. You switch the handset on and whistle open. The dashboard status bar reads online. Now I start the bike. I probably wouldn't have let me had I not done that. Lineman's handset. I'm a lineman apparently. You push the start button and the gauges flicker to life. You straddle the seat and kick the engine over. It starts on the second try. Back of the bike. Janie said the strike was due to launch at 2100. The track will be clear, she said. Let it get ahead of you, then catch up and hook on. The strike. Some sort of like military strikes? Or... I'm not sure. You kick the bike up a gear and twist the throttle. You'll have a 40-minute work window. Don't get past Kittery. If you go over the river, just don't cross the river, okay? Turn on to Industrial Park. It's easy to stick to streets without a lot of residential real estate. You make it up to the rail crossings in Falmouth and park yourself and your bike in a thicket. And wait. Bushes. You think about the InfoLib group in Portsmouth. You silently curse whoever tipped off when. The group didn't expect the CCTV system installed at the broadcast tower just days before, and it compromised their operation. Right, this is like the 70s and 80s. You hope those 7 minutes of pirate air instructions for building your own answer mod got to the right TV sets. Maybe even some... Oh, answer mod, I get it. It's past curfew. It's something that picks up my phone and punches in my 9-digit number so that they can't tell them that I'm out past curfew. Or that I'm... Yeah. Maybe even some VCR. Yeah, maybe even some... playing the automation game back at the government winning a small freedom was a first step to organizing more liberation cells. You feel the rumble before you hear the clacking white noise. Wait for the trains to pass. Your heart clicks up a notch as the strike train approaches. It's a physical response, not to the metal rolling by, but to the oppression it represents. Your mouth parches. You scan the cars as they roll by. 4 total. Engine in front, fuel car, then 2 tech cars. You can't make them out in the dark. One is the com car, the brain. One is the com car, the brain. The other is munitions. It's uncomfortable to stay motionless in the brush. You're ready to get going. You're itching to hit back any way you can. Still, you wait. The train recedes down the track. Unpack your bike. Unpack my bike. You wheel your bike up on the track in the moonlight. Let's hope this works. You extend the rail runner and the outrigger like the guy at the custom shop showed you. It takes some muscle, but the bike fits on the rail. You start the bike and kill the headlight. This will either fail amazingly or throttle up, you're rolling. Nowhere to go but forward. Catch the train. Rolling on a dark track. You push the needle a little past comfortable, a few bumpity bumps, but the bike regains its composure after each one. You'll have to thank that torch jockey later. You spot the strike train before long. Its stern shows a few signal. Okay, I'm not so good at reading things that I haven't read before out loud, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to make it on this, but I'll try. You spot the strike train before long. Its stern shows a few signals lit. The rear of the train is the only blind spot in its proximity sensor grid. That seems kind of an oversight, but if you approach from the side, or God forbid the front, about 1,000,000 alarms would go off. You don't know if this rig's equipped with countermeasures. You pull into its draft, uncomfortably close. You unclick a hook from the fork, unspool some cables, and throw it as hard as you can at the tech car's aft ladder. It clatters off the handrail, but doesn't catch. The second throw snags a rung, and you crank the winch until you're just a few feet away toward the train. So one thing I'm noticing so far is that there were a couple options at the beginning, but I'm sure there may be more options at the end, but so far in the middle, it's pretty much no options. It's just reading a story. Which, it's a good story, and it seems to be pretty well written so far. Okay. With the motorcycle tethered to the train, you shift to neutral and slide a rubber band over the brake lever to add a little drag and stabilize your position. Okay, I'll presume that'll work. I don't ride a motorbike. You swing it over to the inside of the bike and balance on the outrigger. Standing long jumps wasn't your strongest event in high school. It's only a couple of feet. You jump bigger puddles to keep your boots dry. Then again, puddles don't move at 100 kilometers an hour. You push off. Dot. The ladder's cold, even through your gloves. Assess the situation. So no sooner did I say something than that this is nothing but a story, that it actually changed a little bit. It's still just a story, but there's a lot more anticipation there. It changed the style of telling. Assess the situation. You ditch the bike. If anyone's watching, it'll attract attention when you pass through a station. You might get really unlucky and pass a cruiser stopped at a crossing. On the other hand, it's a lot easier to decelerate gently than to jump from a moving train. I'm just gonna ditch the bike. I get the idea this might be a one-way trip anyway. The lives of the Portsmouth group are more important than a clean getaway. If ditching the bike improves your odds of success, you have to do it. There, that's something that will very likely change the outcome of this. I no longer have a getaway vehicle. You unhook the cable from the ladder and reel the bike in closer. You whip the cable and send the bike tumbling off the tracks into the ditch and the darkness of the pines. If I get out of this, you think, maybe I can come back and salvage the thing. It can't be more than a 10-mile stretch to check. Right, if I get out of this. No more looking back. Find a way inside. There isn't a data port you can see on the back of the car. You resign yourself to brute force. That Wonder Bar in your backpack ought to do the trick. Wonder Bar. That's a chocolate bar here in Canada. You wedge the bar where you expect the latch to be and begin to pull. The door screeches and groans, but remains shut. Finally, you grip the ladder with both hands and kick the bar with both feet. The door pops up free and slides open. The bar goes tumbling into the night. Red flashing light spills out of the car. Looks like you tripped an alarm. Well, I gotta say, I would have expected to trip an alarm. You saw the door shut behind you. It smells like metal and old smoke. In the garish, swirling red light, you see cages filled with monstrous machinery. You spot several racks of missiles, a couple of artillery cannons, several anti-aircraft turrets, There's a seam in the roof. You guess the car opens like a black pea pod to dispense violence at range. You don't see any way into the cages. The aisle continues ahead, but it's narrow. You have to remove your backpack and carry it while you shuffle sideways. Ooh, I can go back? I'm gonna go forward. The next car must be the communications car. That's the one that drives the train. Manages a programmed firing sequence and relays sensor data back to base as it passes through each station's wired uplink. Right, because this is the 70s and they can't just, upload that shit anywhere. Red alarm lights are swirling over the cages. You need to get that station system shut off before the next station. There's an access panel here with a small display that reads armed. Need to get to that station. You need to get that system shut off before the next station. Okay. I'm going to move forward to the comm car. The door won't move a millimeter. Locked up tight. You're all out of pry bars. There must be another way. I guess we're going back. Head to the back of the car. Exit the back of the train. I'm not finished yet. Okay. Oh. Was that all my choices? There's got to be another choice in here. Advance to the front of the car. Oh, I can click on access panel. I didn't notice that. The display reads armed. The panel looks like brushed steel, smooth and featureless. Your fingers find a data port under the bottom edge of the faceplate. Connect to your handset. Handsets. It's pretty fancy for well, I don't know what kind of handset it is, but you connect the handset. There's an audible heartbeat on the other end, a slow beep from a cold machine. Right, whistle as in like phone freak whistling. Whistle open. You startle as the ceiling cracks open along the length of the car. That's maybe not the open I wanted. Metal on metal scraping reverberates through the space like the world's worst garage door opener. In a few moments, the cages are exposed to moonlight. You hear a new system tone through the handset, and a missile racks click loose. This must be an unlocking command. You commit the tone to memory. Yeah, you use be a phone freak. Red alarm lights are swirling over the cages. You need to get that system shut off before the next station. There's a system with... move to the comm car? No, it's still locked. Well, I think... Has anything changed out the back? No, nothing's changed out the back. And thankfully nobody's, running to kill me. Hopefully this is like an unmanned train or something. Connect my handset again. Whistle unlock. Yeah, that was the one I was looking for. Word unlock. Red alarm lights are... Oh wait, this is still that one. Move forward to the comm car. The cars roll and sway. You carefully time your step over the coupling to keep your balance and slide the door open. There's a sea of blinking lights and display screens in front of you. This is the automated core of the train. The walkway here is wider than the munitions car, but only just. A red beacon above your head washes over your surroundings. The alarm is still active, and you're coming up on a station in a few minutes. Shutting it off is imperative. You spot a small screen at waist height that's flashing a crude, blocky pixel diagram of the train. The munitions car is flashing the word breach. There's a data port a few inches away on the same panel. I need to... Okay, wait. Is that the same? Okay. Whistle close. Nothing happens. Yeah, okay, this is just the one that unlocks the car that I just came in. So, walk to the front. You see a terminal that looks like a descendant of old teletype systems from a couple of decades prior. Modern the military ain't. The printhead periodically buzzes that it writes a line to tractor-fed fanfold paper, shrill over the rumble of the track. The alarm flasher at the rear of the car sprays the wall in red like a bloody lighthouse. That's a fairly uh, interesting. Okay, you examine the paper. It's recording the alarm and disappearing into a lockbox. You won't be able to remove the permanent record of your presence. Maybe you can do something about the immediate danger, though. The printout looks like a series of commands and acknowledgments. Maybe you can manually enter a command to trick the system into accepting it. Enter stop, enter continue, enter loop, enter act. Continue a little loop. No response. Maybe no news is good news. Continue. Bad command. Enter stop. Bad command. I guess we're entering act. Bad command. Well. Oh. Okay. Oh. Uh-oh. The bright lights of the station walls push through small apertures in the car's walls. The car doesn't make a word click sound as they lock you inside. Everything goes dark. The computer was able to notify the command that you compromised the train and received orders to lock itself down against physical tampering. You try connecting your handset to a data port, only to receive a shower of sparks. The handset is smoking now, burnt crisp. The train will complete its mission. The Portsmouth Infolib cell is as good as dead. Your future isn't much brighter. You get to sit here in the dark knowing exactly what's about to happen, powerless to stop it. When the strike is over, you'll be delivered back to Brunswick Naval Air Station. They'll have a welcoming party ready for you with bright lights, barking dogs, and men with guns. I lost, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's any denying that. I lost. I wasn't quick enough. I punched in the wrong buttons. That's an interesting game. I suppose there's a fair amount of choice involved at the end there. In like the whole middle, there was pretty much no choice. It was just like straight through to until you're on the train, and then moving around the train. I enjoyed it. It was an interesting game. I don't think I've ever actually. Well, I mean, I used to read the Choose Your Own Adventure novels when I was a kid. This is fairly similar to that, albeit a very short story version. But yeah, I gave you a super long video, much longer than anybody else's. I'm not sure why, I just did. You're welcome.